On today's episode, we have
Let's break down the University of Utah's football schedule for the 26-27 season.
all right, let's go ahead and first jump into it, man. What we wanted to talk about today when it comes to the Utes was we wanted to kind of break down the schedule, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
First game, which is going to be against Idaho. So again, folks, let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. What your feedback is regarding our picks on this. Let us know if you think we're wrong, if you think we're right. Either way, we're still going to have a good time in the comments. So join us, chat with us, let us know what you're talking about, all right?
Yeah, do it.
All right, so week one, we have Idaho, right? So this could be the University of Idaho. This is simple. This is
This is a straight up warm up game, my friend.
yeah, this is get some reps in type of game.
Yep.
What I see from this one is this is try some stuff that you would normally not use and get your depth in there as early as possible.
Yep.
Clearly, there's a talent gap here. Idaho has signed some entertaining players, specifically running back Ferrari Williams. He's 5'10", 220 pounds. He had 1,100 rushing yards last year, which is
Also awesome name.
yes, very awesome name. But yeah, other than that, that's really kind of the only player I see coming out of Idaho that'd be kind of fun to watch. Other than this, again, we're just going to see what the Utes are going to throw out there. Again, get the depth out there and try and see if we can get some game speed reps for these guys.
So you're going to say that's going to be a Utah win.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple Utah win on this one.
Okay, cool. Next game is going to be Utah versus Arkansas. This game's September 12th at Rice Eccles Stadium, so home game. This game reminds me a lot of the UCLA game from last year. You're playing against a power conference school who's kind of in the bottom end of their conference, and actually they are in the very bottom end of their conference. They were 2-10 last year and were 0-8 in conference play in the SEC. So Arkansas really struggled last year. But it's going to tell a lot about how the season's going to go, right? It is a Power 4 school with players from the SEC who have SEC recruiting. I mean, to summarize this game's at Rice Eccles. The home crowd's going to be there. You know what I mean? To bring in a Power 4 opponent into Rice Eccles, it's going to be loud. It's going to be crazy. I'm going to predict a Utah win.
Yeah, it's going to be like the first real game. I mean, no offense to Idaho, University of Idaho. No offense. But yeah, I agree with you on that one. That's going to be a fun atmosphere for sure. So week 3, we have Utah State's coming into town.
Yeah.
Again, another home game. This is kind of a repeat there. A lot of my games are home games, by the way.
I know, and a lot of mine are away.
So this one's going to be an interesting game, not just simply because of the play on the field, but it's going to be interesting. Utah's clearly going to win this one against Utah State. But what I'm actually really excited about is how all the fun connections that they have with the University of Utah. Obviously, you have the new OC, Kevin McGivern, as Utah was with Utah State last year. They also brought over 4-star wide receiver Brendan Pagan, who led Utah State last year with 60 receptions and 926 yards, including 5 touchdowns. Utah State's going through a significant roster overhaul right now. But I do think that they have some good additions to that team. Seth Wilfred from Auburn is a big one. You also have Chewy Wade from OK State. Those two will solidify the offensive line. Fun game for sure, but Utes will take this one. I just think it would be a fun one to watch just simply because it's going to be a lot of Utah State's influence on Utah. So it's going to be kind of fun to see how that all plays out.
Yeah, absolutely. And there'll be some fun banter in that one because Utah State fans always show up. The opposing fan section in the Utah State game is always full. So to have them there, it'll be loud on, that southwest corner of the field. It'll be a fun one, but I wouldn't expect anything other than a Utah win. So I believe we have a bye week in week 4, right?
It's week 5.
Week 5. Okay. So next game, September 26th at Jack Trice Stadium. So Utah is on the road at Iowa State. This is going to be a tough home test for the new head coach, Jimmy Rogers. He was the head coach at Washington State last year. He left after just 1 year with the program. And then he took the Iowa State job because Matt Campbell left. And when Matt Campbell left, he took pretty much the whole roster with him to Penn State. When you take that many talented guys that you've done a really good job recruiting and kind of made that Iowa State program what it was over the last few years, you're looking at a rebuilding year. Jimmy Rogers is a great head coach. He won an FCS national championship with South Dakota State. So the guy knows how to win football games. I do believe he's going to be overmatched in this one. Utah's going to show up with 3 games where they've got the offense rolling, and I do believe they come out of Jack Trice Stadium with a win on September 26th.
Nice. I like it. Week 6, we have, again, this is coming after the bye week. So week 5, the Utes have a bye week. Going into week 6, again, a home game. And this one's going to be versus Kansas. This one's going to be a little bit closer for me. KU does have a bit of a quarterback battle going on right now. It's assumed that Cole Ballard would be expected to take over for Jalen Daniels after his departure. But you also have Chase Jenkins and Isaiah Marshall to contest there in spring and fall camp. So we'll see what happens there. On the offensive side, we got wide receiver Cam Pickett and transferred Nick McMillan as key contributors on the offensive side. They also have defensive lineman Drayden Punt that's new to the squad there, is a player worth note on the defensive side. I still got Utah winning this one, just simply because these teams are in similar positions as far as like quality of program wise, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But again, with all the transition that we talked about last week with this team, I think that kind of levels the playing field a lot. However, again, this one's going to be at Rice-Eccles, so I'm going to say that's going to make the difference, and Utah's going to come away with a win against Kansas.
Yeah, the Rice-Eccles is home field advantage for sure. It's loud and it's rowdy, and the fans have the ability to affect opposing offenses.
Yeah, and we have an established head coach that's been here for 20 years. Our offensive coordinator is from Utah State. He's relatively local to the program. And it's, I don't know, the defense. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of change on this team, absolutely. A lot of it is Utah centric. A lot of it is going to be people that are already with the program. We have our QB number 1. This team doesn't, at least not yet.
Yeah.
And so that kind of leaves a lot. Plus the home field advantage, I'm leaning Utah.
The next week is October 17th, and Utah is at Colorado at Folsom Field. I think the big thing to remember with Colorado is they had some short-lived days of this flashy Colorado team that could, and I'm air quoting here if you're listening on the podcast, play with anybody. And those days are really gone. Colorado looked pretty bad last year. Even after getting Caden Salter from the transfer portal, that was their big-time recruit that they got from Liberty, who was supposed to just come in and not miss a beat on the offense after they lost Shedeur Sanders to the draft. They just struggled to move the ball. The defense played horribly. It was really bad. So they've got another quarterback battle. They've got 5-star quarterback Julian Lewis, he's going to be competing with Utah transfer Isaac Wilson at Colorado. So those guys were battling for the starting spot, and Wilson is already showing promise. He's actually getting pretty high praise from the coaching staff, which is really cool to see. So Colorado always plucks a few really good guys out of the transfer portal. Every single year they have a few spots where it's like, this guy's going to be the difference maker. I don't know if they're going to be consistent enough throughout the season to take Utah, even at home. I'm going to take Utah to win on this one as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm with you there. There was that first year where they came out the gates hot. Everybody bought into the hype, and then it just really fizzled out.
Well, and then Oregon absolutely bus rolled them on national TV.
Never
on that season, and I mean, it was. It's been downhill since Oregon just ran them over.
Yeah, and then we have Week 8 versus Houston. Again, another home game here. Houston is still rebuilding. They do have quarterback Connor Wayman. He is returning for his final year of eligibility. That should provide some stability on the offense. If Utah gets out early, we might see the 5-star recruit for them, which is Keyshawn Henderson. Hope I'm saying that first name right. Keyshawn Henderson. In the second half, which would be really, really cool to see from Houston. He was a 5-star recruit, so that would be really awesome to see him out there. Defensively, they have Carlos Allen Jr., who plays, a little bit stand out for me. I think he's going to be a player worth watching for sure. But again, still rebuilding versus Utah's more reload approach versus rebuilding. So I'm going to take this one. Utes win this one at home.
Nice. I agree. I think that program has some work to do. Houston, they're kind of up and coming. They spent a ton of money in the transfer portal. We just talked about it in our top 5 rankings. Make sure you guys check that video out if you haven't already seen it. They spent a lot of money. They could be at the top end. I don't see them as fresh as they are coming into Rice-Eccles Stadium and taking that game.
No, I agree. I did have them ranked in my video last week.
Yeah.
But I don't see them beating them head-to-head, just simply because, again, here at home, Utah's more established.
Tough place to play.
I just think Utah's going to take that one.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so the next week is October 31st at Nippert Stadium, which is at Cincinnati. Cincinnati hit the transfer portal hard. They had 22 recruits, including JC Fresh and the redshirt senior who is a redshirt senior quarterback, And Liam O'Brien, doesn't that name sound familiar?
It does.
Spicy tuna.
It does.
But Liam O'Brien is actually a senior from Penn, which is an Ivy League school. He's also a quarterback.
Interesting.
So Cincinnati started last year on fire, right? They looked good. And I mean, realistically, everyone was thinking this team's going to be playing for a Big 12 conference championship this year. That starting quarterback who took them all that direction ended up, transferring to Texas Tech. So they're going to be forced to kind of rebuild some offense. I'm really curious to see how Cincinnati looks after such a strong beginning to the season. It'll be interesting to see how they turn out. I'm going to take Utah on this one in a close game. Actually, I'm not saying they blow these guys out, but I think Utah wins this one in a close one on the road at Cincinnati.
Okay, I love it. I actually agree with you on that one too. By the way,
Yeah,
I don't think Cincinnati beats them, even though it's a road game. Week 10. So this is one everybody wants to talk about. Week 10 versus BYU. For me, it's the most important game on the schedule for the University of Utah.
Yeah, and for where we're at, we just had a comment that the Utes need to go undefeated. McKinley commented that the Utes need to go undefeated before the BYU game for an 8-0, 8-0 Holy War. I agree. I agree. Awesome. This will be nationally televised. It'll be on everyone's TVs on every single channel. So yeah, absolutely, go into it.
Yeah. So again, this will be a statement win for Utah, but it's a must win for BYU.
Yes.
If they want to compete for a Big 12 championship or be in the college football playoff, they cannot lose to Utah in this game. So with BYU, they have Bear Buckmeyer returning after his breakout season last year. You expect him to have another leap forward. Not necessarily a leap, but he should still progress from last year. Backed with running back LJ Martin, who is a top 100 player in the early rankings right now.
Mm-hmm.
I also like their tight end transfer they got from USC, Walker Lyons. He was a nice reload there. And you also have the O-line. You got Bruce Mitchell, who was all conference last year. Gentry is also expected to be, has experience at tackle as well. Looking forward to seeing what Kyler Casper is going to do on this team down south. He is an Oregon transfer, 6'6" Oregon transfer. So there's a lot to be seen on the BYU side that I think is going to make this one interesting. Can't overstate the departure of Jay Hill on this one. I think Utah shakes off this 0-3 Holy War and gets a win this time.
I agree. We'll know 4 or 5 games in how Utah's going to look. I'm excited for the offensive pairing with Devin Dampier and the new offensive coordinator Kevin McGivern. I think it's going to be kind of a match made in heaven. I think they're going to have some stuff up their sleeve specifically for the BYU game that we will not see. I also agree that it will be a Utah win this year.
Yeah, just statistically, if you look over the time frame over this rivalry, unless there's a huge change, right, a huge swing, it's usually one side will get 3 wins in a row, and then or it's just a
massacre for 10 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm anticipating this is going to be a little bit more back and forth. I think these teams are a little bit more evenly matched than
they ever have been.
Yeah. So that's why I think this one could go. This one should go Utah's way, just simply because again, there's some changes there, and again, there's just as many changes on the Utah side. But again, we just reloaded with a lot of more Utah guys, so I think that kind of makes the difference there for us for sure. All right, so who do you got next?
Okay, so the next week coming up is Utah at Arizona at Casino del Sol Stadium. This game absolutely terrifies me. This is on the road against a really good Arizona team. You just played and won an emotional rivalry game against BYU, and the Utes are just feeling unstoppable at this point. But I could see some missteps on defense in this game. And with Noah Fafita out there, this dude's he's known for carving up Utah defenses. He finds holes, he runs, he does it all. Utah defenses do not play well against Noah Fafita because this dude is that good. In my opinion, this is going to be the first loss of Utah's season against Arizona. In a close one. I mean, I think could be decided by a field goal or less. But I'm going to say Utah versus Arizona after the rivalry week. We see our first loss from Utah.
All right. Yeah, that tracks. I think you're pretty spot on there. Coming off of a high of a great win against the rival, and then going in against a better team, and immediately getting punched in the mouth a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, I got Week 12 versus TCU. This one's on the road, right?
I don't know. Yes, maybe
I have it versus TCU, but I'm pretty sure this one's on the road. So I just think I'm on my notes. I have it
that
wrong.
sounds right.
Yeah.
That sounds right because their last game I think finishes out at Rice Eccles, so against West Virginia. Which is
Yeah.
my next one,
Okay. Yeah. So I just put it in my notes versus, but I think it's on the road. So correction there. But anyway, so there's always now. Here's my theory. I've been following the Utes a lot closer as we analyze the team than I did as a fan. Basically, just watching the games and just enjoying it and just checking it.
Yeah.
Something I've noticed over the last couple of years is there's always going to be a loss on the road that I expect this team to win.
Yeah.
Happens every year.
Yeah.
Carter Stadium is always a tough place to play. The Horned Frogs, are a tough team to play at home. Jeremy Payne is going to be the highlight of that offense as he continues, as if he continues what he did in the second half of last year. You also have Ken Seal. He's projected Seals. Sorry, there's an S on there. He's projected to be the starting QB. I like the fact that he's going to be. And he also has some stability in the wide receiver room with Major Everhart. There's lots of experience on the defensive line with like Marcus Steele as well as Ansel Dean Maba. Hopefully, I'm saying that right.
Mabapi.
Mabapi.
I don't know. I just made it up.
There's no vowel at the end of there, so both me and ESPN got that one wrong. If that's the case, but like I said, this team always loses one on the road that I think they should win, and in my mind, this one could be that game. Now you can easily take this and swap it with BYU. And if they lost BYU game, I see them winning against the Horned Frogs.
Maybe their one loss is Arizona.
Yeah. Well, again, I don't think this team comes out only one loss, unfortunately. So again, I'm just picking them. Again, they're just always that one, and it always comes at the end of the year where the defense is just kind of beaten up and stuff like that. Just kind of really ran through its paces because it spends way too much time on the field, at least over the last couple of seasons. Hopefully that changes this year. But yeah, I see that being a potential loss as, again, just statistically, as I've seen in the last several years, one of these always comes up.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. That's going to be a tough game at TCU. I think if they do lose the game at Arizona, their chances of winning at TCU are better.
Agreed.
Because this is not a 2-loss and 2-week team, especially coming into the end of the season where they know they got to win. And I'm not saying they don't potentially lose one of those earlier games, but I think if they do lose the Arizona game, I see them playing much stronger against TCU than if they win the Arizona game. But to finish the season, it is Utah versus West Virginia. That is at Rice Eccles Stadium. Nico Marquillo announced that he is transferring to Northwestern. He spent 4 seasons with the Mountaineers. But West Virginia got some good transfers. They got an Oklahoma transfer named Michael Hawkins Jr., and they also got a guy named Scotty Fox Jr. Rich Rodriguez he's finally getting his feet underneath him. They didn't have a great season last year, but he's not a guy you count out for too long. He's coached too much. He understands it. He's kind of getting his recruits in there and building the program that he wants to build. So this could be a really solid middle of the pack kind of team this year that could they could really just sneak up on anybody. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of team that West Virginia could be this year. But not Utah. Not in this situation. Not in late November where Utah knows that they're going to need every single win. I'm going to predict Utah in a landslide on this one.
Okay.
To finish the season out. And, with our combined prediction, that puts them at a 10-2, 11-1 type team and right in the mix for a Big 12 championship game.
Agreed. I do think this conference is stronger this year than it was previously.
Oh, it absolutely is.
And I do think the University of Utah has a better schedule than they've had as far as their time in the Big 12.
Absolutely. This is the most program-friendly schedule that they've had in a couple of years.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Even go back to the Pac-12 days when, Oregon State.
Yeah, Oregon State, Washington. You're like, we can't get any break. Like I thought this was supposed to be split into divisions, and these guys, we got to get all the tough ones from the North Division.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting for sure. I agree with you there. I believe the line for Utah is 8.5. I think
in West Virginia.
No, for their
wins.
Yeah, overall, right now.
I would take the over.
Yeah, I think we're both on the over on that one. Not necessarily just because of home ridges, just simply because off of what we talked about, straight the schedule. I mean, honestly, if they beat Arizona, there's no chance they're losing to TCU, and this could easily be a 10-1 team.
Yeah.
You know, but again, the same thing could be the opposite. They could easily lose both games and lose the rivalry and be what 8-3,
4.
8-4, yeah.
Yeah.
So like yeah, so it's definitely can swing either way. But honestly, I still would take the above that line for sure. We want to hear from you folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below when it comes to University of Utah. Again, as a reminder, folks, we did just launch a channel specifically for your University of Utah football called Utah Football DNA. This is a channel we dedicated specifically to your Utah football club. So if you have not yet, smash that like button on this channel, subscribe to it. Man, I just completely lost it all there. If you're watching this on our live stream, check out the description down below. We have Utah Football DNA down there. Make sure you check out that channel if you're following us for our youth content. And if you're listening on the podcast, the link to that will be in the description down below as well.
Yep.